Our last two videos in the RPG Elite Philosophy series has been on how to master your impromptu roleplay. And this is part of the last RPG Elite quality. RPG Elites are always striving to be better. There is a level at this. There is skill at this, especially when we want to have a more immersive and enjoyable tabletop RPG experience. Today, we're going to end our focus on impromptu role-playing, and with that, we are going to end this section of the RPG Elite Philosophy. There are over 20 videos on the RPG Elite Philosophy I've been doing for over a year and a half now, and we've now reached the end. So if this is your first time coming to the channel, you don't have to go back and watch them all, but I'm just saying you can go back later on and you can catch up on what this whole RPG Elite Philosophy is. My name is Servant of Shiloh. Thanks for coming to the channel. We're gonna get straight into this today. Let's move into it right now and roll 'em. Now, one of the things that we don't take into consideration a lot of times when we're coming to the table is the hangups and insecurities that people may have at the table. People come with all kinds of problems, and sometimes those problems are baggage, and sometimes they put that, front forward, and it becomes an uncomfortable situation right away, or it's subtle. These are things that you gotta tackle out the box right away. Because if you don't, then you'll never get to that place of improving your impromptu role play because it was something that was never discussed to begin with. Let's just get to that thing that you can do to improve your impromptu role playing, and it's simply this: practice. That's it, practice. Take time out of your day, a couple days a week, and practice. But it's that simple. We're not talking about things that you do when you are at the table. You practice off camera, so to speak. Now you may be asking, well, why is this important?
Why so serious?
It's because of the whole time factor. RPG Elites are looking for a more immersive and enjoyable tabletop RPG experience. We get that in the medium and high level role play. We want those 4 to 6 hours, depending on how long you play. We want those to be the best 4 to 6 hours that we're investing, because that is a lot of time. It's a good chunk of change from our lives. So we want that to be a great experience. Let's make this experience the best that we can make it. Therefore, we maximize our time, and therefore we maximize our experience. And when we do that, we make it so where we want to come back to the table time and time and time again. And our time is not wasted. That's why it's important. Now, when I say practice, that makes some people nervous, just me saying that. And they are clamoring for an excuse right now why they can't do it or won't do it. That is an expression of an irrational fear or an illogical presupposition, or both. Let's take a look at both of these, because if you do not tackle these two things, you will not practice, and you will have the same banal, humdrum experience every time that you sit down at the table, and you'll complain about it still. All right, well, don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. So let's look at how we can get over the illogical presuppositions and the irrational fear that comes along with practicing when it comes to impromptu role-playing. When it comes to irrational fear, many times it's because of some past experience. Maybe in a past experience, people were making fun of you at the table, or you were fumbling over your words and didn't know what to say, you were all nervous. Or everybody was watching you and you didn't like the fact that people were watching you, all of that. So because of that past experience, they're afraid to move forward and do it again. And it may have only happened once, at the most twice. And now they use that as the so-called reason why they won't do any impromptu role playing or any impromptu high level, medium level role play at all, right? They will sit at the table, roll some dice, be kind of like a bum on a rock, and that's it. Really not engaged much in the high and medium level role playing. No matter what you do in this situation, you cannot allow your past experience to become your present reality. Let it go. That stuff is in the past and it is gone. You know, people will talk about, oh man, well, you know, I was hurt by that experience. And then you ask them the question, well, how long ago was that? Oh, well, that was 5 years ago. Wait a minute, what? It was 5 years ago? You still on this? All right, you need to stop your crying and stop your whining and get over this. This is what I'm talking about, this kind of mentality of letting the past dictate your present. You learn from the past to live in the present. But what most people do, they keep living in the past as if it's the present. And so to these people, it's fresh wounds for me. It was 5 years ago, it's not that serious. Why are we still on that? The reason why things can't change for you, or maybe your sessions aren't changing and it's just not making it to that level that you wanted to make it at, well, it probably could be because you're still living someplace else. It's like I said, you ain't gonna be successful living back there as if it's here. That's dead and gone. You need to live now. And if you want things to change, you certainly can't have it change if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. That's foolish. And if you really want me to get raw with it, that's just stupid. If you want your experience to grow in impromptu role playing, then you gotta get over this irrational fear. Oh, it's gonna happen again. You have no idea if it's going to happen again. Let me tell you something about irrational fear first. Irrational fear is the cage that we erect in front of ourselves that bar us from reaching our potential. We give all kinds of excuses of why we don't do tons of things. And if you have done it here with something as simple as impromptu role playing for a better experience at the table, then you're doing it in your life. And it's probably one of the reasons you can't get over the hump, because you keep staying here. Now, normally this could be because somebody told us this stuff, or it could be because we told ourselves that. We created that monster and then we believed that monster was real and have believed the monster was real ever since. You'll never ever conquer your fear if you continue down that road. If you are playing with a group and that group was the group that you had the experience with, guess what? You probably need to get another group. There's millions of people playing tabletop RPGs. We've got virtual tabletops now. There's absolutely no excuse for you not to play with another group. I only like to play live. Okay, we'll find another group live. Well, this is the only group I like. Why do you like a group that would do that to you? I wouldn't understand why you would like a group that does that to you. I wouldn't even understand why you're playing with a group that does that to you if your desire is to do that thing and they're suppressing it. And I've heard about this. Oddest thing to me, people who suppress other people who actually want to better themselves at medium and high level role play. You know, they get upset and they get mad. I remember I told you guys about this young woman who she lived in Japan and she played with us a little while playing the One Ring. And she was reticent to do some things because of her experience in other games, because that's the attitude they had towards medium and high level role playing. No, we don't do that here. I mean, actively suppressing it. She did what you should probably do if you're in the same situation. She found another group. She came to us. And that is what you will probably need to do if you want to find that experience that's in your head. That's what we're chasing after. We know it can be done. Having the right people is so key in this. So don't let those people dictate your present reality because of a past experience. Nuh-uh. Move on. Learn from that and move on. And you move on to a group that will encourage you to role play. You move on to a group that will give you feedback on your high level and medium level role play. will allow you the freedom to express yourself in that way and will actually tell you good job when you do a good job. That's the kind of group you need to be a part of. Well, you don't understand, Servant. It's hard to find a group like that. I get it. Hence the term RPG Elite. Elite means there ain't a whole lot of them. Elite means it's at the top of the pile, no, and there's not a whole lot of people who have that kind of mindset. Might be a little hard, but whatever you do, don't settle for a group, especially the group where you had the bad experience. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, y'all. So don't stay there. Having an illogical presupposition means that you have come to the table and the whole conclusion that you're not going to be good at this makes you feel uncomfortable just even thinking about it, so you're not even going to try it, even though you've never tried it.
That is the most illogical attitude.
So that's not based on like evidence, facts, it's based on conjecture and emotion. That'll never get you anywhere.
Stop that! Silly!
It's bad thinking and it's bad living.
That didn't help at all.
You want to at least try it. Now, nobody's expecting you, or nobody should be expecting you to play at some high level, and you're just starting off at this, right? Maybe the best that you can possibly do is on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe your high level role play is a 6 and your medium level role play is a 5. Fine. Do the best that you possibly can do at that. And many times, because you at least tried, you're going to find out that you can probably go further than what you thought. That maybe you're a little bit better at this than what you imagined and created in your head.
You've got to be kidding me.
This thing right here, your mind, can play tricks on you. Kind of like the old school Ghetto Boys song.
My mind is playing tricks on me.
Nah, I don't know. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that. But it does, it plays tricks on you, and then you don't do things and you won't try to push yourself. This is the reason why people don't do most of anything in life. They won't push themselves. They don't want to feel uncomfortable. What do you mean you don't want to feel uncomfortable? Life isn't about comfort.
Shut the front door.
If you want to be successful at something, or if you want to have different experiences, or you want your experiences to be richer in life in general, then you have to push yourself and you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You also have to be willing to fail. There's a difference between a failure and a quitter. A failure is somebody who has tried something and they have failed. Now, you can take your failure and do one of two things. You can learn from it and do it again so you can get it better the next time, or you can use that as an excuse to quit, which means you're not really a failure, you are a quitter. You don't want anything bad or uncomfortable happening to you. Man, I had a bad experience here, or, you know, I've seen this happen when somebody else did it, so if I did it, this would happen. Bad presupposition, you don't know that. You don't know it until you actually do it. So do it, but do it in the context of a setting where you will have the freedom to do it.
You're just being shy. Don't worry, buddy. You're doing fine.
So it's like I said before, you probably might have to find another table. It'd be good if you found an RPG Elite table, because I'm telling you right now, we're going to encourage you all day. Go ahead, do your thing, and it will be a whole lot better, and you'll look forward to doing it the next time when you have that support and encouragement at the table. So once you have dealt with the illogical presuppositions and the irrational fear, and you have to deal with that, then you can move on into the practicing. There's 3 things or 3 areas or 3 tools that you can use to help you practice. So let's do them real quick. Number 1, watch some YouTube videos. Watch YouTube videos. Let's say you want to learn just how to do like maybe basic acting, because that's really what high level role playing is. That's everywhere on YouTube. Just find one, do a search on it. Or maybe you just want an accent for your character and you need somebody to do an accent. That is on YouTube. I know this for sure. I got a character whose name is Cleo Faboso, or Cleopatra Faboso is her name. And she has this accent, and I looked up the accent on YouTube, And lo and behold, there was somebody there and she was doing this accent. I was like, okay. And I started mimicking her, pausing, going back, saying different things that Cleopatra would say and trying to just get the inflection and everything and how all that sounds, just trying to get that accent right. So watch YouTube videos. There are a whole bunch of them on there. YouTube is great for instructional and educational things. Use it for that. So the next thing is to watch television, films, movies. Watch them and watch characters that you want to emulate. Do what they do. Pause that DVD, pause that stream, and rewind and mimic them. Now, the cool thing about this, though, is you can take several things from several different characters and then kind of mishmash it together for your character. You could be like, well, I like this in this character, but I like that in that character, and this character has both of those qualities. Okay, well then learn the quality from one and then learn the quality from the other. Now, the last one might be a little challenging. And again, you're gonna have to be willing to get outside of your comfort zone. But the last one is to find another player like-minded and to practice with them. Now, in the best of worlds, this would be another player who's in the same campaign or group that you're in. And while you guys are not in a play session, contact them and be like, hey, would you mind helping me? I want to get better at role playing. Would you mind helping me practice? All right. If they say, hey, yeah, no problem. I don't mind doing that. When you want to do it, set up a time and you guys practice for about 15 minutes to a half an hour or whatever, going back and forth. It's going to be good for them. It's going to be good for you. Get feedback from them. This is somebody who's going to encourage you anyway, so get some feedback from them. And the good thing that if they are a player in the same campaign or group that you're in, then you guys can work out something between your characters. For example, if you guys don't get along, then you guys can work out details on how you guys would talk to one another, things you would say, all of that, right? Or if you guys do get along, you know, the deep connection that you have, how you guys would express that in a session or whatever. Out of the three, probably one of the best things that you could do, because it is getting your hands dirty with somebody else and getting direct feedback, which you don't get with the other two. Hey, if you got any value out of this video, could you do me a solid? Could you crush the like button for me, please? And also, if you want to stick around for a little while, hey, I'm going to be in this for a minute, y'all, God willing. So hit that subscribe button and the notification bell on top of that. Let's get into the question of vid. What prevents you from practicing? Is it irrational fear? Is it a logical presupposition? Is it a little bit of both? Let me know down in the comments, and also let me know, what are you doing to overcome it? I hope that this video gave you some value, folks, but that's gonna do it for me. I gotta get out of here and do my thing. Let me snaggle puss on out of here.
So exit, stage left.
If you got a game this week, happy gaming. I hope you have an RPG Elite session. I hope you smash through these barriers, that irrational fear, that illogical presupposition, and I hope you go and start practicing and getting more comfortable with your impromptu role playing. So until next time, folks, a brother has got to say peace. 5,000 elites, that means it's the end, and I'm out.